The Rational Male by Rollo Tomassi. Hey there, welcome. Get comfortable, because I've got a story for you, and honestly, it might hit a little close to home. Picture this. There's a young guy, could be someone you know, could be you a few years back. He's genuinely a good person, does everything he's been told is right. Respectful, patient, a great listener. When he falls for someone, he becomes her rock, her best friend. He's the shoulder she cries on at 2 a.m. when yet another guy breaks her heart. And he waits there, thinking eventually she'll realize the perfect guy has been right there all along. Then one day she does see clearly and starts dating another guy who treats her badly. Our friend is left standing there, holding his friend zone membership card, thinking, wait, I followed all the rules, what happened? Sound familiar, even a little bit? Because if it does, you're going to want to hear what comes next. What if the rule book you've been following your whole life was missing some crucial chapters? Or worse, what if it was the wrong book entirely? Today we're diving into a book that's been called everything from dangerous to life-changing, from controversial to absolutely essential. It's quietly sparked a revolution in how men think about themselves and relationships. It sold hundreds of thousands of copies, not through massive marketing campaigns, but passed from one guy to another like a secret decoder ring. That book is The Rational Male, by a writer who goes by Rollo Tomassi. That's not his real name, by the way. He started out as an anonymous voice in early 2000s internet forums, a guy who spent years connecting dots between psychology, evolutionary biology, and his own life experiences, from wild 20s to marriage and fatherhood. He wasn't trying to be a guru or pickup artist. He was just someone who noticed patterns and started connecting them. And those patterns revealed a picture of reality radically different from what most of us are taught. Now, full transparency, some of these ideas are going to challenge you. They might make you squirm in your seat. They might even piss you off. They'll ask you to question things you've believed forever. But here's my promise. Stick with me on this journey, and you'll walk away with a completely new lens for understanding the world. You'll finally understand the why behind the what. Why attraction actually works. Why the old advice keeps failing. And most importantly, how to build genuine confidence that doesn't come from faking it, but from finally understanding the game you've been playing all along. Ready? Take a breath. Let's dive in together. To get the core message of The Rational Male, we need to start with an idea that sounds like it's from a sci-fi movie. The notion that we're living in a kind of matrix. Not a computer simulation, but a social one. A world of invisible rules and expectations programmed so deeply into us that we don't even see them. This social programming, Tomassi argues, is built to serve what he calls the feminine imperative. Heavy phrase, simple idea. Throughout human history, a woman's survival and her children's survival depended on securing the best possible partner, someone who could provide, protect, and offer good genes. Her entire life strategy, her imperative, revolved around this need for security. Over time, society itself began organizing around this imperative. Our movies, our stories, our social rules, they all subtly reinforce a world built on this female strategy. For a young man, this means you're born into a game where the rules were written long before you showed up, and they were written to favor the other team. You're taught ideals that sound noble and right, but often lead straight to confusion and frustration. Let's talk about the first and most powerful of these myths, the soulmate myth. You know this one. It's every Disney movie, every romantic comedy, the story we've heard 1,000 times. Somewhere out there is one perfect person for you. Your other half. The one. This idea feels magical, like destiny, but Tomassi warns it's one of the most paralyzing beliefs a man can adopt. Why? Because it leads to what he calls ownitis. Ownitis is an unhealthy romantic obsession with a single person. It's when you fixate on one girl, put her on a pedestal, and believe she's the only source of your potential happiness. You stop growing. You stop seeing other opportunities. You pour all your time, energy, and self-worth into winning this one person. Your entire world shrinks to a single point. Tomassi calls this the sniper mentality. You lie in wait for weeks, months, even years, waiting for the perfect shot at your one. You become her friend, do her favors, listen to all her problems, all while hoping she'll finally see you're perfect for her. But what's actually happening? You're not building attraction, you're building comfort. And comfort, Tomassi warns, is the enemy of seduction. Attraction needs tension, mystery, a little anxiety. By becoming the safe, predictable, comfortable friend, you're basically skipping all the exciting parts of the movie and jumping straight to the credits. You become the stuffed animal she hugs at night, warm and familiar, but completely non-threatening and, let's be honest, not remotely arousing. So when the sniper finally takes his shot and confesses his feelings, he gets hit with the 5 most dreaded words in the English language. Let's just be friends. The LJBF. Here's the tough truth. There is no one. There are good matches and bad matches, people you're more compatible with and less compatible with, but there's no single, predestined soulmate. Believing in the one creates a scarcity mentality. It makes you needy, and neediness kills attraction faster than anything else. This brings us to one of the book's fundamental principles, what Tomassi calls the cardinal rule of relationships. In any relationship, the person with the most power is the one who needs the other the least. Think about it. In a job negotiation, who has more power? The person with 3 other offers, or the person who desperately needs this job to make rent? It's always the person with options. This isn't about being cruel or uncaring. It's about understanding a fundamental dynamic of human interaction. When you're needy, when you operate from scarcity, you give away your power. Your happiness becomes hostage to someone else's approval. And that's an incredibly fragile way to live. So if the sniper mentality and Owenitis are the problems, what's the solution? The answer is a radical mindset shift, captured in one of the book's most famous concepts, plate theory. Imagine a performer spinning plates on top of long sticks. He's not focused on just one plate, he's managing several at once. Some spin fast, some wobble, some might even fall and break. His focus is on the whole system, not a single plate. In dating, Tomassi suggests men should adopt a similar approach. The plates represent different women you're getting to know. By dating non-exclusively and being honest about it, you shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Now this is where people get uncomfortable. It sounds like being a player or being dishonest. But Tomassi is very clear. This isn't about lying. It's about being upfront from the beginning that you're not looking for exclusive commitment right away. The power of plate theory isn't just about having more dates. It's about what it does to your psychology and behavior. When you have options, you naturally become less needy. You're more relaxed, more confident. You don't get devastated if one woman isn't interested, because you have other plates spinning. This creates a subconscious shift in your body language, your tone of voice, your entire presence. You start acting like a man with choices, because you actually do have choices. And here's the paradox. That very confidence, that lack of neediness, is exactly what women find attractive. You become the prize to be won, rather than the one desperately trying to win. You flip the script. This abundance mindset is key to solving so many problems. It prevents Owenitis. It helps you handle rejection. It lets you evaluate potential partners from a place of calm assessment, rather than desperate hope. You start choosing, instead of just hoping to be chosen. But to make this work, you need to understand another crucial concept: frame. Tomassi's first iron rule is, frame is everything. So what is frame? Frame is the unspoken context of a relationship. It's the reality you're both operating in. And in any interaction, one person's frame will always dominate. Either she enters your reality or you enter hers. Here's an example. A woman says, "I'm not sure if I'm ready for a relationship right now." If you enter her frame, you might say, "That's okay, I can wait. I'll prove to you that I'm worth it." You've just accepted her reality, her terms, and positioned yourself as the chaser. You've handed her all the power. But what if you hold your frame? Your frame is that of a confident man with options, looking for someone who's enthusiastic about being with him. In that frame, your response might be a calm, friendly, "No problem at all. I have a great time with you, but I'm looking for someone who's as excited to build something as I am. I wish you the best." You haven't been mean or rude, but you've maintained your reality. You've communicated that you're the prize, and you won't wait around in limbo. This is incredibly powerful. Women, Tomassi argues, are subconsciously testing a man's frame all the time. These are called shit tests. A shit test isn't malicious. It's an unconscious probe to see how strong your frame is. Can you be flustered? Can you be controlled? Are you truly confident, or just acting? When a woman playfully teases you, challenges you, or makes a slightly difficult request, she's often checking your frame. The guy stuck in beta mode, afraid of losing her, will immediately fold and do whatever she wants. The guy with alpha mentality will pass the test, often with humor and confidence, without getting defensive. He holds his frame. He demonstrates that he controls his own reality. This brings us to one of the most debated topics in the book, the concepts of alpha and beta. Now, it's easy to get these wrong. We think alpha is the loud, arrogant jock, and beta is the quiet, nerdy, nice guy. But Tomassi says this is a mistake. Alpha and beta aren't demographic categories. They're mindsets. Alpha is as alpha does. The core of alpha mindset is a deep, unshakable belief in your own value and a life driven by your own purpose. An alpha male's life doesn't revolve around women. Women are a wonderful complement to his life, but they're not the focus of it. His focus is his mission, his ambition, his passion. This gives him his center of gravity. He's the sun, and he lets others orbit him. He leads. Beta mindset, on the other hand, puts women at the center of his universe. His happiness, his self-worth, his very identity are tied to getting a woman's approval. He orbits her. He follows. This is why the nice guy often finishes last. Not because he's nice, because his niceness is often a strategy. It's a form of negotiation. He's trying to earn her affection through favors and compliance. He's playing what Tomassi calls beta game, where the strategy is convincing a woman to want him by becoming more like her, more agreeable, more accommodating, less threatening. But in doing so, he erases the very masculine polarity that creates attraction in the first place. Women don't want a doormat. They don't want a carbon copy of themselves. They're attracted to masculine energy, decisiveness, confidence, ambition, and a touch of unpredictability. They're drawn to a man with a strong frame because it signals security. They want a man other women want and other men respect. Tomassi shares a powerful quote: "Women would rather share a high-value man than be saddled with a faithful loser." That's a tough pill to swallow. It cuts against everything we're taught about love and faithfulness. But it points to a deep evolutionary truth. A woman's subconscious is always asking, "Is this the best man I can get?" This is the engine of what he calls hypergamy. Hypergamy is simply the female strategy of seeking to pair with the highest status man she can attract. It's not evil. It's not a conspiracy. It's a biological imperative hardwired into the female brain to ensure the best outcome for herself and her potential offspring. Hypergamy never sleeps. Even in a long-term, committed relationship, part of her is always testing, always checking to see if you're still the best man for her. This is why a man can never get complacent. He can never stop growing, never stop improving, never stop being the prize she chose. This is why, paradoxically, a little dread game can be healthy in a long-term relationship. Dread isn't about making your partner feel insecure or threatening to leave. It's the subtle, ambient understanding that you're a high-value man who could have other options. It's a reminder that her competition isn't just other women, but your life's mission itself. When you hit the gym and get in the best shape of your life, when you get that promotion, when you passionately pursue a hobby, you're generating positive dread. You're reminding her why she chose you in the first place, and that you're a man worth holding on to. It reignites that competitive anxiety that's crucial for attraction. This journey of understanding, from the myths of the Matrix to the realities of frame, plate theory, and hypergamy, is what Tomassi calls unplugging, and he outlines 5 stages many men go through in this process. Stage 1 is denial. This is the blue-pilled state. This is ridiculous. Women aren't like that. This is just bitter, misogynistic nonsense. This is the initial resistance to having your worldview shattered. Stage 2 is anger. This is when the truth starts sinking in, and it hurts. You feel like you've been lied to your whole life. Why do I have to play these games? Why can't I just be myself? This is the bitterness of taking the red pill. Stage 3 is bargaining. You start accepting some ideas but try to find compromises. Okay, maybe this works on some girls but not the quality ones. Maybe I'll try a little bit, but I'm not going to change who I am. Stage 4 is depression. This can be a dark phase. You see the world through this new cynical lens, and it can feel hopeless. The magic is gone. You see the mechanics behind love and attraction, and it feels cold and transactional. Stage 5 is acceptance. This is where true growth begins. You move past the anger and depression. You accept the world for what it is, not what you wish it were. You understand the rules, and you start using them not for manipulation, but for self-improvement, and to build genuine, strong, honest relationships. You have game awareness. This leads us to the ultimate purpose of this knowledge. It's not about racking up a high score or tricking women into liking you. It's about killing the beta within. Killing the beta means letting go of the needy, approval-seeking boy you were conditioned to be. It means unlearning the social programming that told you your worth is determined by a woman's validation. It means building an identity based on your own values, your own ambitions, and your own self-respect. It's about understanding that you cannot negotiate genuine desire. You can't talk a woman into being attracted to you. You can't perform enough favors to make her feel passion. Desire must be organic, and it arises when she sees you as a high-value, confident man who controls his own world. One of the book's most powerful ideas is about what constitutes real power. It's not money, or status, or influence over others. Tomassi writes, "Real power is the degree to which a person has control over their own circumstances. Real power is the degree to which we actually control the directions of our lives. When you're no longer a slave to your need for approval, you become free. You become powerful. You become the man you were always meant to be. Not because a woman chose you, but because you chose yourself. You become your own mental point of origin. This is the ultimate goal of the rational male. Not to get the girl, but to become the man. And when you become that man, the girls will follow." So we've covered some deep, challenging territory. The ideas in the rational male aren't comfortable. They force us to look at the world, and ourselves, in a way that can feel raw and unfiltered. And it's easy, especially after first hearing them, to fall into cynicism or bitterness. It's easy to see this knowledge as a weapon in some battle of the sexes. But after years with these concepts, I believe that's the most shallow interpretation. To me, the true wisdom of this book isn't about women at all, it's about men. It's a call to action for radical self-improvement and personal sovereignty. For a young man, the world is pulling you in 1,000 different directions. Society, media, even well-meaning friends and family, are all telling you who you should be, what you should want, and how you should act to be considered a good man. And so much of that advice, particularly around relationships, is based on a romantic ideal that often collides with reality. What Rollo Tomassi offers isn't another set of rules to follow blindly. He offers a map and a compass. He's showing you the underlying terrain of human dynamics so you can navigate it with awareness and confidence, rather than stumbling through in the dark. The most powerful lesson for me is the relentless focus on self-possession. The idea that your life's mission, your purpose, must be your North Star. Women should only ever be a complement to a man's life, never the focus of it. This isn't about being selfish. It's about building a solid foundation. A man with no purpose no drive, no center, is like a ship without a rudder. He's easily tossed about by waves of other people's expectations and desires. But a man anchored to his mission is a source of strength, not just for himself, but for everyone around him, including the woman who chooses to join him on his journey. So how can you start applying these ideas today without becoming a jerk or a robot? First and most importantly, turn the focus inward. Before you worry about getting the girl, worry about building the man. What are you passionate about? What skills do you want to master? What kind of physical shape do you want to be in? Pour your energy into becoming a man you genuinely admire and respect. That's the true source of alpha. Your achievements don't make you alpha. You achieve things because you cultivate an alpha mindset. Second, become a student of human nature. Just watch. Observe the dynamics we've talked about. Watch how your friends interact. Watch the characters in movies. Don't judge, just notice. You'll start seeing the patterns everywhere. This awareness alone is a superpower. And third, practice letting go of outcomes. Talk to people. Not just girls you're attracted to, but everyone, simply for the sake of connecting. When you detach from needing a specific reaction, you kill neediness. You build social muscle. You start operating from abundance, and you'll be amazed at how people respond to that relaxed, confident energy. That was a summary of The Rational Male by Rollo Tomassi. We've covered a lot of ground today, but here's the truth. A summary can only ever be a map. The real adventure happens when you explore the territory yourself. The true value of a book like this isn't just in the concepts, but in the way it forces you to think, to question, and to see your own life from a new perspective. This summary is your starting point. If anything we've discussed today has sparked your curiosity, if it's made you question things, then I encourage you to pick up a copy. Reading it isn't just about learning. It's an experience that can genuinely change how you see yourself and the world around you. There's a link to the book in the description below. Also, if you found this journey valuable, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It lets me know this work is making a difference, and it ensures you won't miss our next exploration into another life-changing book. Let's keep growing together.